Welcome to Engineering Culture, where we discuss how to build a culture through teamwork, accountability, and competitive greatness with thought leaders, that is coaches, superintendents, principals, all of those things. We are Engineering Culture. Okay, here with another episode of Engineering Culture with the head man now, Dan Jackson, the head coach of South Dakota State football. First of all, congratulations on being the head coach at a place that you really care about.
No, it means a lot. It's a special place. Always has been for me. We go back a decade, and so you understand what South Dakota State has meant to me, and my level of excitement to be able to build on what's been established here.
Yeah, you take over a program that's won a lot for a lot of years. Yep, you were here when they won, and they continue to win when you left, and now you're back. How do you continue that culture of winning?
You know, the fun thing about it is back in 2012 when I got here as a GA, there wasn't a culture of winning. We were coming off 2 losing seasons at that point, and there was a group of guys, coaches and players and administration, everybody together that really took a gritty blue-collar approach to trying to build this place into something special, and we could see it for what it could be and what it would be if we just continue to put in the time and the effort. And so the fun thing about coming back is I know the grit that it took to build to a national power. And it took time. I mean, it was every year just gradual improvements and those things. So I want to instill the values of that era and that time, the toughness, chip on your shoulder that it took, and then now combine it with the confidence and belief that our guys have because they know that they can do it. They can win national championships.
It's one of those things where this program is now expected to win a national championship every year or be in the conversation.
No doubt.
And the league's not getting any easier.
It keeps growing, and there's talent all over. NFL guys every week.
Yeah. So how do you define culture for me, I guess? What does culture mean to you? Everyone has a different definition.
No, it's cool. And culture to me is who you are at your core. There's ups and downs with everything, but when you when you get down to the nitty gritty of who you are as a one person or a group of people, to me, that is what culture is. And the fun thing about culture is when you look at it in a societal, component, culture is built over time. It doesn't just day one, you have this great culture and so the fun thing here is understanding the culture that's been set here, the previous coaches, the previous players and those sort of things. I'm going to be able to build on the culture, but to me, culture it's who you are at your lowest and highest moment, but it is who you are to your core.
And it's a blend of when you're having good times and when you're having bad times, you just go back to relying on, all right, these are the 3 things, right? Or whatever it may be.
No doubt. The culture piece of it is just to your point. When you're having some adversity, you can go back to your culture. You can go back to your core beliefs. When you're having success, you always need to go back to your core beliefs. If not, you kind of just start getting drugged throughout your day or your year or your season. But the culture is kind of like the rock and the foundation that you can always go back to as a coach or a player.
What are you brought up core beliefs? What are your core beliefs, and what do you want your core beliefs to be for this program?
It's interesting, yeah. So the core beliefs first, it's going to start with a last play mindset. And so what that means is do everything as if it was your last. If it's a Tuesday 7-on-7 rep, you're attacking that segment, that play as if it's your last play. But then it's going to carry over into, if I'm taking a test, I'm going to do it as if it's my last. If I'm preparing for a test, or how I rehab, or how I work in the weight room. So it starts with that mindset and mentality. And then for me, a core belief here is that we're going to really attack is brotherhood and expand on what does that truly mean. And just through some adversity, we found out here how strong the brotherhood is at South Dakota State. And so we're going to define brotherhood. We're going to go through kind of some teaching components as to what it truly means to become a family, which ties into your culture question.
Yeah.
And so those are a couple of core beliefs that we're going to hang our hat on just all the time.
Yeah. All right. You're a Nebraska kid.
Yeah.
It matters to you a lot. Nebraska matters to you a ton.
Mm-hmm.
Matters to you a ton. I mean, you Omaha Burke guy and coach at Burr, all that stuff. I mean, you've kept Nebraska ties pretty strong. I would not be sitting here if you hadn't. How do you what does Nebraska mean to you? I guess
I'm one of those
state
people.
of, right?
like, I'm so proud to be from the state of Nebraska and the city of Omaha that I get a hard time about it everywhere I go. This is the Nebraska guy, this is the Omaha guy, and I don't shy away from that because it helped me become who I am as a man now. And, you know, my family is really important to me, and they're all in Nebraska. But over time, like, you're not a relationship, or just the amount of people in Nebraska that I really consider my close friends, family. And a lot of them reside in Nebraska. But when I took a college coaching job, I was leaving Omaha Burke at the time. Right. I was proud to work for my alma mater and build that place. But I told myself when I went to the college ranks, I was going to treat the high school kids that I recruited the way that they should be, because I saw it not happening how it should. Right. And so I just kind of put it on my heart to make sure I treated every kid that I recruited, which was the state of Nebraska, treat them as if how I wanted my high school guys to be treated. And I think that just correlated into some recruiting success, because it's not a sales pitch at that point. It's just authentic, genuine relationship building. But no, I keep track of everything that's going on in the state. We just talk for 20 minutes trying to get caught up. But no, I love the state. It's helped define who I am as a man.
Yeah, you Nebraska Jacks are back.
Nebraska Jacks are back. Nebraska Jacks are back.
Nebraska Jacks are back. You heard.
We're back.
All right. Who's been some of your mentors? Who have you learned from the most? Who do you rely on if you need advice?
Yeah, John Stogelmeyer, who was the head coach at South Dakota State, and that's a little bit of a given. But Paul Amanji at Omaha West Side, I mean, he really gave me the first opportunity to coordinate and put a lot of trust and faith in me at a time where we needed to have success at Burke. And Coach taught me about the effort and the toughness and the culture piece. I try to take little things from everybody I interact with. And then when I went to Northern Illinois, Thomas Hammock was fresh out of the NFL. And the NFL roster building is different. At that time, it was different than collegiate sports. But really worked with him on the personnel side. And then Clark Lee at Vanderbilt. I mean, you talk about a challenging situation. For us to be able to work together to build that program and maintain a really close relationship is special. I'm excited about their growth. And shoot, Jason Eck, you know, for him to
know them for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, it's just been neat because every place that I've been, I kind of attached myself to the head coach as somebody. Look, I'm going to do anything for you. I'm going to have your back. I'm going to be your most loyal soldier. And when that happens, then they bring you into conversations that maybe other assistants aren't privy to. And those are some people and situations that have helped mold me.
Yeah, the growth of you, like now you have this head coaching job.
Yep.
And now it changes.
It changes.
It totally changes. Your time commitment's different. People you get to talk to every day is different.
Yep.
But how do you plan on just keeping that core of, like, anyone that knows Dan Jackson knows, like, he's a personable dude. He's always on and answering and doing this. How do you kind of balance the two? How do you think you're going to?
I think it's going to be some just gradual learning in the new role, but the first thing with me, it's all about relationships. And I don't think that, if anything, the importance of my relationships with our players and coaches in this role is magnified tenfold. So for me, I'm going to focus on what I always have: treat people the right way, care about them, be interested in them, learn about them, and make them feel important. And so now I just get to do it with a group of 118 players and a staff of 20. And I do think those are some of my strengths, and I'm going to utilize the relationship-based part of it. And then the balancing the time and those sort of things is just interesting between media and fundraising and all these different things. But they'll still get back to a relationship-based approach. And that's how I'm going to attack it. I'm going to be myself. I'm going to be authentic and genuine and not try to be something that I'm not.
Yeah. Last thing here. I mean, your wife has moved a lot with you. I joke with you. You move a lot. You've moved a lot.
You've moved a lot.
Like, how important is to have someone like that that's just kind of like, sees your vision and your dream?
Yeah. You can't be in this profession without a supportive wife. You just can't. And it's an emotional roller coaster because thankfully my wife still works for a company back in Omaha and is able to work remotely. But I mean, the amount of times that I've come home and been excited about something, or this was going to help us grow, there's still, you're moving a house, you're packing, you're finding a house, you're meeting new people. I think the most unique part of that is your wife has to be a little bit adaptable too in terms of meeting new people. Mm-hmm. And so she's been unbelievable throughout these moves. And that nice part for us now is I'm not taking this job to look for the next one.
Right.
And I think that puts a sense of peace.
You want to be here.
I want to be here. If I'm here for 25, 30 years, a lot of coaches might take a job and with the end in mind of if we're successful, then.
Yeah.
If we're successful, then I can go. Well, to me, if we're successful, we're going to continue to be successful. You know, we're just going to build, and it's cool to be able to plant some roots.
All right, man. Dan Jackson, head coach at South Dakota State.
Oh my God.
A Hurrdat Sports Network production.